Hello and welcome to this week's PS4 O'Clock, where I'm talking to Joel Gregory about the newly announced PS4 bundles and the latest PS4 game pricings. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's PS4 O'Clock, where I'm joined by Joel.
Hello everybody.
Now we are talking about
Sound like Dr. Nick there.
Hi everybody.
Yeah.
This week we are talking about PS4 bundles because now they actually exist in a confirmed form. In the past we'd seen leaked images of a Killzone bundle with an extra pad and a camera, and
I'm not surprised it's real.
And real. The NAC one we've seen has yet to materialise.
What a shame.
This came out of interviews in Eurogamer's Expo with Virgil Gara, and also with Game. The people who have pre-ordered from Game have now been sent emails saying what they can upgrade their pre-orders to.
Yeah.
So the email they got was, "Thanks for pre-ordering your PlayStation 4 from Game. Your pre-order, why can't I say that word? Your pre-order is totally secure, and your place in the queue for one of the biggest ever gaming launches is reserved."
I love that. It's great. You still have to get in the queue, though. You pre-order confirmed, but get in the queue.
We are pleased to confirm that your console pre-order is guaranteed to arrive before Christmas 2013. So these are the people who ordered before, was it August the 6th, I think?
Right.
We are currently working closely with Sony to confirm what bundles will be available, and will be in touch with any additional options that are available to you and instructions on what to do if you want to change your pre-order. There is nothing you need to do at this stage. We will let you know shortly if you need to do anything. Now, there are 6 bundles which have yet to appear on the site. So they've only been sort of sent out at this moment, only been sent out to people that pre-ordered. Now, option 1, for £399.99, is a PlayStation 4 and Killzone Shadowfall. For the same price again, option 2, £399.99, is a PlayStation 4 with Watch Dogs. And there's also, for £399.99, a PlayStation 4 with FIFA 14. Now, if you want to spend a bit more money, for some reason, for £409.99, that gets
annoying
you
amount, isn't it?
Yeah, PlayStation 4 with Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't know why that one game is more.
Well, there's a history of that with COD, isn't there?
Yeah.
They think their game's worth more money than everyone else.
Well, actually, we'll get to the game recommended retail prices in a moment, because that's something else that's come out this week. But the other options that are available are for £439.99. That's a PlayStation 4 with Killzone Shadowfall and Drive Club.
It's quite good.
That's quite good, yeah. And then for £449.99, this is the King pack. That's a PlayStation 4, Killzone Shadowfall, a PSI, and an extra DualShock. That's pretty good value.
It's very good. So the pad's what, 55 quid or something like that? And I don't know how much an eye is, 42 I think, maybe, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, that's a hell of a deal if you want the eye.
These are only through Game at the moment. As I say, they're not on the website as of, it's Tuesday the 1st as we're recording this. They're not on the website yet, but that's what Game have put forward basically to people who have pre-ordered. There have been other bundles sort of floating around that aren't official yet. For example, Amazon have got a list of bundles that aren't yet available, and you can be emailed when they are, but they've yet to be activated. The basic system, I mean, what you get in a bog standard PS4 box, if we take the Killzone bundle actually, so that'd be a PlayStation 4 system in jet black. Piano black is old school now.
Right. Pianos are older than jets. So
yes,
jets got to be better, right?
You get a DualShock wireless controller. You get your game, and if the Killzone bundle, that would be obviously Shadowfall. You get 14-day PlayStation Plus trial, HDMI cable, an AC power cord, a wired mono headset, and the USB cable.
Pretty good, isn't it, for sub 400 quid?
Yeah, and
headset, trial of PlayStation Plus, game,
And this is the sort of the first wave really of the bundle. So I suspect we will see, once these are made public and everyone sort of knows what's going on, we'll see more bundles, we'll see more price variation, we'll see more.
Yeah.
I think the 2 game deals, I think, are the things that will be probably the most popular, I thought.
I think what you'd want, maybe something with another pad is probably going to be quite popular, because the pad's very pricey, so if you can get a discount on that. Things like a bundle with FIFA and an extra pad is likely to sell quite well, I would imagine, because FIFA's a game you'd want an extra pad for. I think, 2 games and a pad would be a great deal. But like you said, as soon as these get announced officially, then the retailers are going to be price competing to go, well, our bundle's the same, but it's 10 quid less. So the sooner that happens, the more likely you are to get even better deals. Yeah. And they're already quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, historically, I've always liked to get 2 games with the system, because there's nothing worse than sitting there with one game and then you're like, do I just keep playing it?
Yeah. I suppose the other thing is also whatever is bundled, you can immediately be able to download trial levels and stuff of games off PSN. So theoretically, there'll be a lot of stuff you can at least have a go on, even if you don't get the full game.
Yes, because Drive Club is free on PS Plus from day one. Club. So there's a game, and there's obviously other titles that are coming.
Yeah, so it's all shaping up quite nicely.
Yeah,
I think the only thing you don't want is to go home and have no games. But then even then, I suppose you could play on PSN.
Which I did do with the first time I ever took a PS3 home.
Really?
I had Genki and I had Gran Turismo, and I don't like Gran Turismo.
Right.
Genki was rubbish.
Okay.
One thing I should say as well, actually, I spoke to Fergal Gara at the Eurogamer Expo, and he did say something along the lines of a sort of a PS4 and a PS Vita bundle was looking more convincing.
I spoke to him about it at Gamescom, and he said, "Yeah, we'll talk to you about that later."
I raised because your
answer,
answer he got from you got from him was very kind of non-committal. Avoided saying yes, he avoided saying no.
Absolutely.
The answer I got from him was kind of it's looking more and more interesting as time goes by.
Makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I mean, because that's the ideal companion for PS4, and if you can get it at a discount, it would be brilliant, really. If you could have a PS Vita to remote play with once that starts working properly, that'd be great, I think.
Yeah, and obviously with the Vita 2000, there's a lower price point there as well,
That's true.
Which makes it more attractive to put the two together.
Yeah, that is true.
Speaking of prices, so another thing that came out this week is that the retail site Shop2 claims to have a full sort of price list for PS4 games. They oddly didn't have a source or anything. They've just said it's been revealed to us.
Sure.
But they're a retail site, so they would be sent that kind of information.
Yeah.
It matches up with what had been said before from EA when Game, in an FAQ on Game's website, they said EA were the only one to have confirmed their prices, and that at the time was $59.99.
Right.
Before I go on, I should say that these are RRPs, recommended retail prices. So these are the prices set by the manufacturers that they recommend. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the stores
they never cost that.
No, exactly. I mean, there are PlayStation 3 games at the moment who have an RRP of $59.99. I think FIFA is still the RRP is $59.99.
It's certainly $59.99 on the store.
Yeah,
which is quite frankly.
So that would be the recommended retail. So these are the recommended retail, but probably won't be what it transpires when you go to buy it in the shop. So this is the price list then. So a DualShock 4 is $54.99.
That's a lot, isn't it?
We knew that already, though.
It's still a lot. I can know it and still think it's a lot.
There's a lot of technology in there, and also it's a much sturdier, better built thing.
But if you wanted to be able to play 4-player at home, you're looking at adding £165 onto the price of your PS4.
Or getting your friends to bring theirs around.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, next up is a camera, which is also $54.99, which I think might have gone up a little bit from what it was.
That sounds more than I remember it being.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, Knack is the cheapest game. That's $54.99.
A bargain.
Drive Club is $59.99. Killzone is $59.99.
I think I was surprised at Drive Club because there's a free version of it. I wondered if the premium version would be like £35 or something as a sort of upgradey model thing. I'm surprised they've gone full whack £60 with it, seeing as you can get a lot of it for free.
Exactly. I mean, what they're saying is that the free version on PS Plus is it's feature complete. It's everything minus some cars and some tracks, and that is going to be
£60 for that is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's going to be enough to keep people happy. They're not going to think, well, I've got it for free. I'm not going to pay £60 for some more
That's
cars.
That's why I figured it might be £35. That would make sense. So
I suspect they
might. I fear sales of the box copy of Drive Club are not going to be great.
I think what they might do though is they might roll it off of PS Plus at the end of the first month, and then suddenly it's gone,
maybe.
And then people going, well, I've put some time into this.
Yeah, maybe that would be quite cheeky, but that is possible.
Yeah, and then also just to finish up, there's the PS4 stand, which is apparently $59.99.
Kind of want the stand. I quite like the look of the stand.
The thing is, it looks pretty stable by itself.
Yeah, that's true.
And then last but not least is the charging unit for the pads, which is like a 2-pad dock, and that is $24.99. That's, I guess, for completionists, really. I mean, if you
again, it's always one of those things I thought I'd like to buy and then never could justify the money on it.
It's like it looks lovely. You think, well, that looks really, really
that'll look
nice.
Lovely and neat. Yeah,
especially if you're kind of, your Patrick Bateman kind of obsession. It would look beautifully arranged next to the TV,
next to the dead prostitute bodies. So I mean that's all roughly what we guess. I think the thing is to not get too overexcited that games are £59 because that's always what games have cost, really like RRP worth. You're not going to pay that. You're not even going to pay that in the shops. You're certainly not going to pay that online. And actually, if you look at it, I remember back in the N64 days, that the RRP and actually sometimes the sale price in shops for N64 games was 60 quid, and that was years ago. So the fact that game costs to buy haven't actually gone up in any meaningful sense over all these years, and yet they cost so much more to make, we're kind of getting a lot more for our money, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this essentially is the sort of Sony going, this is how much we'd like you to charge, and then shops kind of go, hey, we do what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. But even at 55 quid, you know, something like, say, for example, Assassins, which is going to run you like 60, 80 hours of gameplay, it's not bad, is it, really?
No, I mean, and so we'll see what happens when... when the system's been out for a little while as well. Because
yeah, of course, and there's going to be competition with the retailers and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, it's what we expected, and it's nothing to kind of get your dual shocks in a twist over.
Yeah, and one last thing then before we close up is that it looks like Home will be arriving on PS4.
Oh, joy!
Well, it was a question that a lot of people have asked, because whether you're involved in it or not, it does do massive numbers. It is...
I wonder if it'll be out of beta on PS4.
It was always going to be in beta?
Yeah, permanent beta, yeah.
But anyway, the source behind this is that someone noticed on some of the shots of PS4, there was next to NAC, there was a very familiar looking white line with an angle, and if you overlay the Home symbol on it, which is the house kind of outline, the line fits perfectly, the angle of the roof fits on it perfectly. So it's a bit of a long shot.
People overlaying things onto things now. We had it with bloody Metal Gear a while ago. Everyone's just overlaying everything on everything else to try and find connections.
But it'd be interesting to see if it is coming, because there's a lot more Sony could do with it on PS4. For one thing, it would be faster. Hopefully, it'd be loading.
It takes so long to load.
Yeah, exactly. You won't spend all that time sort of waiting to get around. There's all that sort of social stuff that could tie into it more. It could become a much more kind of...
It is possible to have fun in Home. It just takes a lot of effort, that's all. But yeah, I think with a more stable network and more people having headsets and cameras and stuff like that, it would be better, if not an essential offering, I wouldn't say.
Yeah. So I think that could be interesting, and like you said, it could be a better proposition on PS4 than it ever was on PS3. Yeah. Okay, so that brings us to a close then. So bundles are on the way; they've been confirmed. The prices and the ranges are looking quite good. What's your favourite bundle?
What I want, it doesn't exist yet. I would want FIFA and another pad. That would be my bundle. As it stands now, I think probably the best value has got to be the one with the camera and the pad and Killzone, I would say, which is still coming in at under 450, which is pretty good going, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm probably with you on that one as well. And also, we've had more confirmation on PS4 game prices, which, as a rule, RRP is being set around sort of $54 to $59.99, which is what they are for PS3 games. So I wouldn't panic too much that that's what publishers are asking for.
Yeah, you won't pay that.
You won't pay that, no. Okay, if you've got any questions or anything, leave a comment, and we shall speak to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.